Born December 1957 to a carpenter and native doctor father, MBONU Christopher Emerem, the self-taught artist, started very early in life to put down in drawing all sorts of shapes around him. Without any guidance at age 12, for Thanksgiving, he gave his church a drawing depicting the Virgin Mary carrying baby Jesus, with Joseph standing by. The beauty of that painting attracted so much attention that households commissioned him to produce murals, paintings and drawings. That would have been the time for MBONU to discover his calling, but without career guidance, his talent was being shifted. After passing through primary school with a brilliant academic record, he proceeded to the next level of education, but there too, arts was not part of the curriculum. His talent, however, refused to be buried as he continued drawing and making sculptures in his private time.
Right from childhood, I had the love for painting human beings. Even when I was in primary school, when I was going to feed food for our goats, I normally use the pointed end of my knife to draw human beings, draw goats, draw anything that comes across my way. That was how the whole thing started, right from childhood. In fact, in some cases when I'm dreaming, I see myself as an artist, painting, drawing human beings. But the environment in which I existed generated more into actualization of this very career.
Unavoidably, the artist's main resource remains his immediate environment, and these appear a lot in his portfolio. Impregnation of a crab hunter, traditional palm oil processing, and a village scene are glaring examples of end pointers to Mr. Emerem's background and the experiences he has had. Some good and memorable, others bad. Losing his mother at age 16 seems the hardest pain he has ever had to bear. The impact of the loss is still reflected in several of his works.
I was the person who was looking after her when she was sick. But then I was in primary 6. The experiences I passed through up till now, when I remember that I started weeping. That was the major thing that triggered off whatever thing you are seeing I'm doing here. Since then, I've been quarreling, I've been battling with a lot of colors. The experiences of my mother, or a reminiscence of the visions I saw when my mother was sick.
Going through his list, titles like Commitment, Intimacy, The Embrace, Love is Natural, and many others, he expresses his sentiment about love, marriage, and family life. Mr. MBONU Christopher Emerem is the happy father of 4 children, all from one woman, Mrs. Jovita Chika Emerem, his wife. Like the saying goes, behind every successful man is a woman.
From the way my husband cares for me, loves me, and shares with me in times of sorrow and in joy, it shows me that he practices what he preaches.
Surely, MBONU Christopher Emerem has a lot of faith in love, marriage, and family bond, saying that they constitute the core to the survival of every society. The bond he shares with his wife has encouraged her to practice painting too, even as an upstart.
Man and woman are the 2 persons occupying this universe, this earth. And these 2 persons, sometimes they go to extremes. When it comes to love making, our youths go to extremity. Even some married men go to extremity. Even some married women go to extremity, where they abuse what nature made sacred. These are some of the areas I pointed out where I mentioned something like broken family. I mentioned something like forced lovers, fugitive lovers. These are some of the titles of my paintings. And a caricature of sensuality. Man in the abuse of love. These are some of the works I've painted. All these things are geared towards highlighting, enlightening the general public about the necessity of making sure that when you are falling in love, you must be sincere.
beautiful things like flowers and paintings, even pictures. So when I got married to a man who is an artist, who creates, who makes something out of nothing, I feel happy and delighted.
After 2 years of consecutive school certificate result cancellations, Mr. Emerem had to relocate to Dohati Memorial Grammar School, Ijero Ekiti, where after passing out, he was employed as a teacher of government and mathematics. In 1979, MBONU gained admission into the University of Nigeria in Nsukka to study economics and successfully bagged an honors degree in 1983. The period between 1983 and 1994 marked the turning point in the life of MBONU Christopher Emerem. His works attracted the attention of the Nigerian government as he was selected as the best copper artist in Kaduna to represent the state in a Youth Corps members exhibition. He was also adjudged the best in the federation.
It was during my National Youth Service program in Katsina Polytechnic, where I was lecturing company law, business mathematics, and quantitative economics. It was there that this very talent, the talent of painting, sculpting, photography, and other things came up. So that is what is really, that pushed me into this very career. And I've been in this very career now, at least for the past 15 years. And I'm still on it.
The breakthrough spelled to MBONU a new direction, the gateway to greater heights. MBONU Christopher Emerem then took up a full-time work in fine arts, supported by his brothers, sisters, and a growing team of admirers. It was this humble start that shot him to the glorious height he is now occupying, having crawled up. His painting, Portrait of an Avaricious Upstart, condemns the desperate pursuit of money as an end in itself. He worries about the youths of today, especially the young men who he wants to stay away from trouble. MBONU Christopher Emerem's paintings, adorned in beautiful and mature colors, show that he has contact with the higher realms, which he says serve as inspiration to him. Clairvoyance, he claims, was a thing he practiced.
My clairvoyant period was as an artist, not as an economist, which was my profession. So it came in different forms. I saw myself in a trance where an alien body, an alien being, dictated to me a lot of messages, which I'm using up to date. What I'm practicing now, the art, the painting, and other things I'm doing here, particularly the art, was dictated to me in Kaduna, particularly in Kaduna town, Gwarimi town, where I was immediately after my youth service in 1984. So there I was called by an unknown person. I was shown a vision where a lot of things were detailed to me, which I woke up in the midnight and put them down.
Essentially, his brains, fingers, and brushes never seem to run out of work that are fascinating and sometimes, without explanation, intriguing. Thus, in 1992, a solo exhibition titled Regeneration of Society was held in Campanella Gallery of Park College, Parksville, Missouri, United States of America, as the first international arts exhibition to be held at the college after 118 years of its inception. Today, with over 3,000 original artworks, posters which are mass-produced and sold to an insatiable market, MBONU Christopher Emerem is an all-round artist who practices photography with a keen eye. His paintings are a trip to the unknown, leaving the viewer with more questions than answers. His color and concept are mature to the point that they emerge, forming a beautiful rhythm, which is no doubt African. MBONU Christopher Emerem says he uses his art to rouse the conscience of mankind. So as motifs cut into motifs in a reflective application of color and concept, and man and the African society are reshaped again and again, Emerem Christopher MBONU goes in search of social and human perfection in many of his works, like seeking to reclaim mankind.
Really, artist has a very strong and unique role to play in the present contemporary setting, in the contemporary setting of Africa. Artist is the one who captures the mood of the society. His work is to capture the dark side and the bright side of life. The movement, the way, the life, the activities, political, socio-economic, name it. All these things are relevant areas which an artist has to look into. Considering the contemporary setting, the situation in Nigeria particularly, the humanistic role of art is highly needed to rescue the system from the cul-de-sac in which we have found ourselves. So I believe strongly that artists has a lot of roles to rescue a drowning system like Nigeria.
He says of his painting, "I am merely seeking inspiration from the life around me in order to make the traditions serve modern times. And as life brings me its fresh meanings, I find it extremely difficult to hesitate reflecting on them."
The Bible told us that a woman should be under a man. A woman should be under a man, and she has to suffer before she gives birth to children. And a man has to sweat and do like this before he gets what to eat. That's what the Bible told us. Now, for a woman to start, quarreling with such a situation God has ordained, I think it's highly ridiculous. Now, I see them as an academic exercise because it's more or less among the academicians, among the academic ladies or girls that all these quarrels come up. But the fact remains that women hold the key. Women hold the key to love, and they determine the way love should be played. That was why I painted the work I called The Anatomy of Female Power.